Unanswered questions about Michael f***ing Myers.
Garbage Day!
Number 1. Was Lumis at the scene of the crime all along? Now, I'm not one to watch Halloween 5 in rotation. It's one of the films in the series that's definitely at the bottom of my list. But upon re-watching this for the first time in a long time, I've noticed something I've never noticed before. If you go back and watch Halloween 4's ending, Dr. Lumis is nowhere to be seen. Matter of fact, you don't see Dr. Lumis again until the very end, and that's after Meeker shows up with Jamie and Rachel. But if you watch real closely right here, look at this small insert of Dr. Lumis holding Jamie by the truck. Now personally, I think this was shot for Halloween 5, and they inserted it for the Halloween 4 flashback, because the flashback is kind of wonky. I'll throw up the clip right here. After Jamie jumps down and everybody's firing at Michael, you have a 2 to 3 second scene of Jamie just laying on the ground, getting the hell out of Dodge so she doesn't get shot up like Michael. But then it just abruptly cuts to Lumis and Jamie at this scene. Now, if Dr. Lumis was at this scene, why is he not in Halloween 4's ending? Are we led to believe that he was there all along? If not, why shoot this little scene and throw it into the Halloween 4 flashback? Very interesting choice. So chat, what do you think? Was Dr. Lumis there all along and we just never saw him in Halloween 4?
Number 2.
What was the man in black doing in the Myers house, and why did he not kill Lumis? As Lumis is searching the Myers house, we see the man in black carry a bag around. Now, one thing I also noticed about this, towards the ending of this movie, when Michael gets shot up, when he breaks into that room, you can actually see the thorn symbol along the wall right here. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, the point of these videos is not to break the fourth wall and say, oh, it's just fucked up writing or continuity errors. If we don't step outside of that dome, of course we know about the cult angle in Halloween 6 and what the man in black's role actually is. So if you want to go there real quick, I guess the whole idea is that Dr. Wynn wanted Dr. Lumis to take over as Michael's guardian. But even that conversation would quickly fall apart, because if Michael has to kill the last of his bloodline so he can stop being their damn puppet, there's no point in Halloween 6 for Jamie to have the baby when he can just kill Jamie right here in this movie. But let's save Halloween 6 questions for Halloween 6. If all we know right now within this movie is the man in black shows up and saves Michael, we have to assume that Lumis would be the biggest threat. I mean, Lumis spends his entire life going superhero vigilante, doing whatever it takes to track down Michael. This movie's no different. So what was the man in black doing in the Myers house? Was he painting out thorn symbols in some weird ritual, voodoo spelling or something? Was he helping set up the shrine upstairs with the coffin and such? Why leave Lumis alive? Why leave any loose ends? Come on, man in black, get your shit together.
Number 3.
Why does Michael wait to kill Tina? And why was the man in black there to go inside Rachel's house? This leads me to believe that if I saw this in 1989 and no other films has came out yet, I would assume that somebody is helping Michael. I mean, in all reality, Halloween Ends isn't the first movie to do partner in crime with Michael. My speculation is that he's going up to clean Michael's mess. That's the only thing I can think of. Throughout this whole movie, the man in black follows Michael around. Michael does the heavy duty stuff, killing, dirty work, but we never really see what the man in black does. I can only assume that it's the cleanup. Rachel's dead at this point, and Michael does have a tendency to hang up his victims in the very bizarre art pieces to put them on display. So who's to say that, hey, he doesn't have a little buddy in crime? But now back to the first half of this question. Why does he wait to kill Tina? Now, Michael's always had this very unique style of stalking people, of when to kill people. Sometimes he stalks them, sometimes he's playing with his food, and sometimes he just effing goes for it. After killing Rachel, Tina's in the house. Michael's in that house as well. It's interesting to see how Michael picks and chooses his battles and his victims. He had Tina in the palm of his hand, and he just let her go. But he does continue to chase after them. The question is, chat, why did he not kill Tina?
Number 4.
Follow-up question, why does Michael and the man in black ignore where Jamie is? Jamie's having this party, so in this scene, you really see how big of a piece of shit Tina is. I mean, you have Jamie Lloyd, who is so excited to see you, who finally says her first words, Tina, I can talk now. But Tina's like, no, baby, I gotta go get some dick. I hope you understand. This takes place all after Tina is rescued from the cops from Michael when she goes inside the gas station. Which is very bizarre because that's another instance where Michael does not kill Tina. Instead, he's role-playing as the other Mike. But surely to God, Michael and the man in black know Jamie's in there. But instead, Michael follows the cop car that has the cops and Tina, since she's being chauffeured for safety. And then you see the man in black shortly follow. This is where Jamie and Billy escape and they go try to save Tina. But the whole plot of this movie is Michael trying to get Jamie. He's right outside the house where she is, but him and the man in black to say, oh well, see you later. They are literally outside the house where Jamie is, but Michael chooses to ignore her. The one and only theory I have about this is that maybe Michael has a new fixation. Kind of like in the Halloween 1 where he instantly became fixated on Laurie when she showed up at his doorstep in the 1978 film. For some reason, seeing Tina after he killed Rachel, from that point on, he is just obsessed with Tina for some reason. Maybe now it's the same scenario. I mean, not only did Michael have a chance to kill her in the house, he had a chance to kill her in the car, but for Michael and the man in black, again, to be outside the house where Jamie is, 10 feet away, to ignore Jamie and to go after Tina. Why, chat? Why? Drop it down below in the comments. Please give me an explanation. Because it was at this point in the movie, it started to fall apart even more than it already did for me like 20 years ago. Number 5. How does this dickweed get this Michael Myers mask? Is this mask not banned by now? I guess you can chop this up to be like rebellious teenagers being fucking assholes, dressing up as a serial killer that came back 11 years ago in 1978 and slaughtered a whole bunch of teenagers in your town, came back 10 years later, slaughtered a whole bunch of teenagers again in your town, slaughtered the whole fucking police force, and now he's back a year later, unbeknownst to them. But the mask was to a T, the overalls was to a T, and it was very weird seeing two Michaels in that barn. Like, Spitz, what are you doing? That begs the question again, what is the Michael mask? Because no matter how much the Michael mask evolves, apparently every asshole teenager has one. I'm gonna call Spitz Bruce Willie. You know why? Because he died hard.
Number 6.
Is Michael driving a Transformer car? Now this is more of a comedic question, but look at these headlights. How in the hell do you go from this to this? Did the other Mike have this futuristic James Bond kind of car where you can move your fucking headlights? Now Danielle Harris, being the child actor that she is, I'm sure production did this so you can have that better light towards the bottom, lighting her up instead of the dead middle that might go over her head.
Transformers 9. The Halloween edition. The crossover you didn't know you needed. Michael Myers. Bumblebee. In theaters now.
Did Billy die at the clinic? I don't think there's any concrete proof that he survived or he did not survive. Again, I haven't watched this movie in years, but going back and rewatching this yesterday, at first I thought it was the ploy that her and Dr. Lumis worked up to get the cops out of there so Michael would come into the house. But no, this shit actually happened. Mika pulls up and there's dead bodies. And apart from Billy being ran over, we don't really know what to make of it. Now, I know the actor said that there was a scene shot that showed him alive at the clinic. However, again, chat, let's not break this fourth wall. Please and thank you. I still think Michael did this deliberately so that the cops would leave his house and that he can go up there and wreak some fucking havoc and get to Jamie. Because when Jamie freaks out, to mention Billy by name like that, specifically, not just, kids, clinic, Michael's wreaking havoc at the clinic or something. No, she says, Billy. She's scared for Billy. So we know something happened with Billy. Is there a chase scene we never got? Was he just in the vicinity of the dead bodies? Did Michael go inside the clinic? Or did he just bag somebody outside real quick? So to reiterate my question, did Billy survive the clinic?
John C.
Did they build onto the Myers house? Now before the hate comments come in, hear me out about this. There's something Dr. Lumis says that strikes me as odd. We know the continuity of the Myers house has never been perfect. 1 and 2, exact same. Halloween 4, never saw it. Halloween 5, somehow this is a fucking gothic house now. Halloween 6 is similar, but it is different. It's not until Resurrection we actually get the whole shebang of the Myers house back. But here is what Dr. Lumis says.
Oh, she's not up there, Michael. She's down here in the middle of the old house. Your house, Michael.
She's not up there, Michael. She's down here in the middle of the old house. Old house? What do you mean old house? Now, up until this point, this house has been abandoned since, 1963? That we know of? This is a very interesting choice of words for Lumis to use. He could have just said, no, she's not up there. She's right in the other room. Or he could have said, she's not up there, she's down here in the middle of the house. The way I interpreted Lumis saying this was, hey, Michael, she's not up there. She's down here in the middle of your house, the old house. The old house being whatever remained of the old structural house. This could have meant that somebody built upon this house at one time or another. They got this house for cheap, dumped a bunch of money into it, added several floors, but the town of Haddonfield just wouldn't have it. So they said, fuck it, cut their losses, and left. I'm sure the citizens and teenagers still go up there, trash the house when they can, do everything to it except for burn the motherfucker down at this point. And again, I only say that because Lumis says, she's not up there, Michael. She's down here in the middle of the house. The old house. Your house. So what do you think? This could be a reach, but Lumis saying it in that specific way, I don't think it's coincidence. I'm not saying this actually happened, but him saying that, I think was the writer's subtle way of trying to explain the drastic change in the Myers house. But even if we're not breaking that fourth wall, that's really the only way to explain the drastic change of the Myers house. Am I reaching? Or am I kind of onto something here? 99 bottles of thorn on the wall. 99 bottles of thorn. When the Myers house was swarmed by cops and they were setting the ambush for Michael, how in the world did they not see the shrine upstairs? How did they not see Rachel's body? How did they not find the dog? How did they not see the freshly dug up coffin just laying there? Now, I'm not going to go on a rant about how Haddonfield's police force is the worst fucking police station in horror cinema, but did they just swarm the house and be like, nah, he's not going to go way up there. He's not going to climb the house, you know? Michael can't climb a roof.
He was doing very well last year. Maybe somebody around here gave him lessons.
Why did Michael dig up the 9-year-old's grave? Or better yet, was it Michael that dug up the grave? Let's not forget the man in black doing some kind of weird work behind the scenes that we never saw. It can't be coincidence we saw the man in black creeping up to Rachel's house, creeping up on Jamie while Michael follows Tina in the cop car. And then we see the man in black blow up the fucking police station again. I'll tell you one thing, I would not apply for a job at Haddonfield Police Station. I'll tell you that straight up. That's real talk. Either way you look at it, if it was Michael or was not Michael, if it was the man in black or not the man in black, whoever done it, one of the two, why does it have to be ceremonial? What is the coffin for? Now I get Michael has some fucking issues in the head, right? Like in the first one, he dug up Judith's gravestone to showcase, hey, I kind of killed my sister again in a weird way when they found Annie's body. But this isn't the same thing. If Michael has succeeded in killing Jamie, what is the point of the coffin? What happened to the original body of the 9-year-old girl? Is that up there in the shrine somewhere? If he did succeed in killing Jamie, was he going to put it in a coffin and then bury her? I find that counterproductive. You're going to dig up a grave to bury the grave. What? I'm more so intrigued on the whodunit aspect about this coffin rather than the purpose. No matter what Michael does to this coffin or what he plans on doing with this coffin with Jamie, just for one, doesn't really fit his MO. And two, what is the end goal? Is he just going to leave a deceased Jamie Lloyd in the coffin for all eternity to rot away upstairs? Is he going to leave Rachel's body up there, the dog's body? Is he going to be like Ed Gaines and just sit around with a whole bunch of dead bones and have a little happy family again? I don't know. I don't see Michael doing that. To further upon that, what is the man in black's role in all this? Is that what the man in black was doing at the time Lumis was there? Setting up that coffin? Setting up that shrine for Michael to have his sacrificial sacrifice for Jamie? What does he get out of it? Believe it or not, I had a lot more fun than I thought I would watching this movie again. Not because I enjoyed the movie, but because this is a Halloween film I haven't seen in a long time because I generally don't enjoy it. I know some people do, and that's fine. Good on you. But I really enjoyed picking these questions out and trying to explain what the hell is going on. I actually had about 13 to 14 questions, but for the sake of this video, I combined some and I left some out so that this wouldn't be a 30-minute, 45-minute long video. I like keeping these nice and short. Not too short, about medium length. So if you have any questions about Halloween 5 that I overlooked, especially if you're a lover of this film, if you are, maybe you can give some insights and explanations. But again, the rules are, don't blame it on production. You have to keep it in the realm of the movie. That makes it more fun. Thank you guys so much for taking part of your day to kick it with me. You know I appreciate it. I love you all. Until next time when I see you in Halloween 6, you have a good fucking day. Adios.